Do you want to make more professional looking reports in Data Studio with a consistent look and feel, but you're afraid of using themes because you don't want to override all the design work you've already done, or maybe you have tried using themes and it didn't look the way you wanted and it wasn't consistent? I'm Amy Hebdon with Paid Search Magic, and in this video I'm going to show you how to use themes to get the look and feel you want without losing all of your customization. Now, Data Studio is great for building reports and visualizations, but it's pretty obvious that its functionality is way better than its design features. And without easy layouts and style sheets and grids, unless you're a designer, which most marketers and analysts are not, you're going to have a hard time creating a report that looks really professional. I'm going to show you how themes work with your charts and data and how to customize themes so that you keep control over how you want specific data to look. Now be sure to watch to the end of the video because I've also got some tips and tricks for how you can use themes across multi-page reports to get that contrast and variation in reports to kind of break things up. Now let's get started. Establishing a consistent color scheme and font choice goes a long way in making your reports look more professional and intentional, which is the whole idea behind themes in the first place. Now, themes in Data Studio work pretty much like themes in websites or presentations in that you can change the look and feel without actually changing the content. Data Studio themes aren't quite as advanced as those other kinds of themes because you don't end up changing the margin or layouts. You're just basically controlling the color choice and the fonts at this point. Now, the first question we'll look at is how do themes work? And this is not intuitive. It sounds like a basic question. It is not. And I actually put off learning to use themes for a long time because every time I created a report, I was already making customizations for how I wanted it to look. And I didn't want to go and apply some template or theme that was going to overwrite everything I already did. And I would lose everything I intentionally set up. So the first thing to know is that themes apply to your default settings. Anything that you made a change to, so it's no longer the default setting, will not be affected by changing the themes, and that is for better or for worse. So to see this in action, let's open a report template from the gallery. We'll select Use Template. And we're currently using the theme of simple. So let's try to just apply some of these other themes. Now that looks like what we'd expect under this custom theme. It doesn't look good, but it's what we'd expect. Edge does create light gray, but a lot of these darker gray or black boxes we're not seeing applied. The black looks more or less what we'd expect. With Groovy, though, we're not seeing that yellow applied. Here I'm selecting a red background and I'm not seeing that reflected at all. So what's going on here? How come these colors that I'm trying to apply aren't really working? Well, you guessed it, it's because these charts and graphs are not using default data. They're already customized. So let me just show you. I'm going to go up to Style. And down here at the very bottom of Style, I'm going to say Reset to Report Theme. And what that's going to do is that's going to make it turn it into default. Now you can see I've got these colors applied from the theme that I chose. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to select all of these, all of the charts and multiple properties, reset to report theme. I'm just going to do this so we can see what this is going to look like when I'm actually applying the theme. So once we have that selected, now I can go to customize, and let's try this guy again. Yeah, see, now we see the yellow. So all you have to do is make sure that whatever changes you want to see are set to default in order for them to change. Because if they're not, then you're just going to see, you're not going to see the changes you expect. Now, once you've selected a theme, you're free to customize it any way you want. And the way you're going to do that is by just going to your current theme and clicking on Customize. So if I want to change the background color, I can. If I want to change the text to something really stupid, I can do that. Now, I really recommend that what you do is you start to play around with your different options for editing your theme so you can start to see what changes are reflected where. Now, when you're in that kind of play mode, when you're using a sandbox basically, you can really select as obvious and grotesque changes as you want because it's a lot easier to tell Eater from Droid Sans than it is to tell Droid from Droid Sans, for instance. And so it makes it really easy to see what's actually happening when you're doing something that looks pretty extreme. So these color choices are not what I would recommend for a client-facing report, but it is really useful as you're going through understanding how to edit your theme. Now, I'm not going to walk you through every nitty-gritty change you can make on this video. Like I said, I really do encourage you to play around with this, but if you do have any questions, please leave me a comment below and I'll be sure to answer it. Now, once you're done experimenting, it's really helpful to know how to save your customizations. So let me go ahead and exit out of Edit Theme. Now, keep in mind there's no way to save your customizations as a unique theme. You only get one custom theme at a time, and once you select a different theme and start customizing that, then you lose the customizations you just made. So if you customize a theme and you want to use it for multiple reports, you'll want to create a copy of your report and then edit that new one, or else just adjust settings from the beginning there. But there's no current way to just save your settings exactly as you like and then you apply that multiple times. Now let's talk about applying themes to multi-page reports. In a typical multi-page presentation, you have title pages and section breaks and different ways to indicate a visual hierarchy. In Data Studio, when you apply a theme, that exact theme gets applied to every single page. You don't get any section breaks. There's no real way to create contrast by default. So I'm going to show you two things that I do in order to add that contrast. So let's go ahead and add a new page. So one thing you can do is to create a section break within some sort of photo editor or graphic software. So here I've just used the same layout dimensions as my report. And then I can use my picture that I made elsewhere and just use this every time I wanted a section break, for instance. That's one way to do it. And then the other thing I can do, let me just go ahead and add one more new page here, is to insert a shape. So it's the same exact concept. I'll just set the background to whatever I want. This makes it a little bit easier to control. I don't have to create a new image, for instance, if I wanted the section breaks to say different things. But if I wanted more control over the layout, obviously using an image would be a little bit easier of a way to get that consistent layout. Either way, I can create my text. And then when we go to view the report, we have our nice little section breaks. Now that you know how to use themes, you can take it to the next level by using the color palette from an image to automatically populate a consistent branded look and feel. And I'll show you how to do that on the next video.